Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. So here we are with Axieaur. His Twitter is Axieaur, as you guys can see on the screen right now. Basically, he's a content creator in Twitter. Basically, he talks about NFTs. He talks about Axie Infinity. He talks about investment advice. He has a lot of life quotes. Pretty interesting, and he has some DGen quotes as well, which I love them. So he has a little bit of everything. And today he's gonna talk to us about his axes, his mystic axes, and maybe talk a little bit about the NFT world right now and how some of those NFTs are blowing up, and at the end of the day, they're gonna trickle down into Axie Infinity. So welcome, man. Thank you for being here. I know you're tight on schedule, but thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So basically, just give you a little bit of a backstory as to how I stumbled upon Axie. Bought Bitcoin in late 2017 and then worked my way down to Ethereum, was basically looking around the ecosystem for projects that looked like they had potential and staying power. And I came across these cute little blobs in the Axie pre-sale. I decided to go for it. I bought three Axies in the Axie pre-sale and ended up rolling two doubles out of my first three rolls, which was super lucky. I think like a 2% chance of rolling a double during the pre-sale. So that pretty much got me hooked, and the rest is history. For the time after that and between now, I've basically just been degenning and accumulating mystics.
Tweeting away.
Over the tweeting away also. Yep, absolutely. The mystics aren't as inexpensive as they used to be, so I can't be buying as many as I used to. But it's amazing to see how far the game has come. Back when we first bought mystics during the pre-sale, there wasn't even battling, and then after that there was turn-based battling where you would basically have to choose all your moves before you even got into the fight,
Oh
and then
man.
yeah, and then that evolved into the live battles, and now we're seeing an ambitious vision with the land play,
Wait, land
and
play
with
wasn't part of the initial thing,
no, it wasn't. Nope.
bro.
That
I
kind
tell you
of
right now,
evolved over time. Yeah, go ahead.
that literally put them on the map. Like
I
I like obviously Axie Infinity as a battling game is a good game,
Yep.
but land it's what scales them to another level. Because I did
Absolutely.
not join Axie Infinity in the beginning because I was like, I'm not gonna battle. I'm not gonna do that. And then
Right.
when somebody told me no, they have land, you could put your pets there and hang out and whatever. I'm like,
Sure.
hell yeah, I'm down now. So it expands, the spectrum of the people that join. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. And I think with like the DeFi space maturing and collateral and swapping NFTs and just interoperability between different projects, we're seeing like a, Axie's kind of kept their options open in terms of which direction they can head. So as DeFi continues to evolve and more stuff becomes possible, I think Axie has the ability to integrate that into their game. And then, there's going to be a huge social aspect to the land part as well, as you kind of highlighted and talked about
absolutely,
a little bit
absolutely.
briefly there. So I think between, the intricacies of the marketplace with crafting and buying axes and items for your land and land itself, and how different land will produce different types of items, it's going to be amazing to see how it grows up over the next year or two for sure.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about these NFTs, like what's it called, CryptoPunk, Cypherpunk, or whatever, and the other one,
Yeah.
Top Shot. My take here, and let me know if you have a similar take or a different take.
Yep.
My take here is that since we're in the digital space, I think CryptoPunk selling for $1 million is amazing.
Hmm.
I don't hate on that. I really don't, because I understand rarity
Sure.
since I was a kid. Like I grew up in an art gallery, so I understand that. But here's the thing:
Yep.
we're in the digital world, so we have to start looking at these NFTs with a bigger purpose other than just displaying it. So I feel like like CryptoPunks doesn't necessarily have that. Like you can only display it and kind of like share that and just kind of like be like, oh, I have a CryptoPunk or whatever. And the same thing
Hmm.
with Top Shot.
Yep.
Well, that one's a little bit different because it maybe has some. It's kind of like a video. You can kind of enjoy
Hmm.
it, so it has a little bit of an extra value proposition. But I feel like
Yep.
Axie Infinity is super undervalued with all the value proposition that it has and all the things that you can do with it. So, what do you think about that? And how is all those sales going to trickle down into Axie at the end?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, punks, they're rare, and I believe they were around before Axie Infinity, so they kind of have like that beginning of blockchain kind of quality to them. Like I was here in the beginning if you own one of those. So I get that aspect of it, but I mean some of my cohorts and other people in the Axie community like to buy art and other sorts of tokens that don't really have that utility aspect to them. But I'm with you. I can't really get around spending that kind of money on something that's basically just an image that's verified on the blockchain. Axie is different because, well, first of all, the team, right? Like, so I've been following this project for 3 years, and every single initiative that they aim to achieve, they have thus far. And they don't rush their product. Everything they build is of the highest quality. Their art is amazing. The battle mechanics of their battle system are deep and it's replayable. Um, the land I expect to be exactly the same. I've heard comparisons that it may be similar to Animal Crossing. Mystics, not only are they rare, but there have been discussions. So Mystics right now, Axies have one level of moves, but over time there are going to be four levels of moves. So every other Axie besides a Mystic Axie will only have three levels of moves. A Mystic Axie will have four levels of moves, however, though. And that Mystic part that a Mystic Axie will have a fourth legendary ability, which will be like a super beautiful, super cool attack. And then there's also been talk about mystics having extra earning ability. So I sort of think about it like you can stake your mystic axie and then maybe get some sort of resource mining bonus or some sort of crafting bonus, or maybe you can uh, craft items that normal axes can't. So there's all sorts of
Now
possibilities in terms of the
let me stop you
utility.
there
Yeah.
because that's really really interesting. If you actually think about the renting part of lending it, like
Yep.
Axie Tree, like bro, you
Yep.
can literally have passive income just renting it like to people that just want to like, oh, let me rent this for, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
let me rent this Mystic Axie for $50 today, and let me craft this item, and then
Yep.
just kind of give it back. And then you
Yep.
as a holder of Mystics, now you can like do so many things with this. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. And then maybe even like a smart contract where you didn't even have to manage the back and forth between renting out your Axie. Like you could just put it up and people could rent it as they needed it. And then as soon as they're done using it, it goes back up on that rental marketplace. So, I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities in terms of how mystics will be used in the future. But, there are only 3,100 or so of them, and that number's capped. It's slightly high, capped. I think it's like 3,500 or something is the highest number that there will ever be. But so it's
Wait.
got that.
That's Origins though. No,
Oh, Origins.
it's
You're right. Yeah. So
Origins for the.
let me just.
Yeah,
If you
Mystic.
if
I
you
think
take, yep,
Mystics are like I don't know the exact.
1,100
I
or
don't.
something like
Yeah,
that.
it's 1,300 something like that. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
limited.
1,300. Yeah,
So
exactly. So
basically,
it's
for the
got that
people,
rarity aspect.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, for the people that don't understand, well, basically, Origins, all Mystics are Origins, but not all Origins are Mystics. So there's like
Yep.
4,000 something original, original. That's why they call
Yep.
Origins. and out of those there was a chance to get mystics, and that's where we get the numbers. So basically I
Yep.
have a video on this. If you guys want to watch, I'm gonna leave the link down below. It explains everything about mystic. It's a guide to mystics. So if you don't know about mystics and you're interested in investing, this is our high investment axes, but they have a lot of value proposition, and I have a video that explains absolutely everything on mystic axis. So continue. I just wanted to kind of make that clear real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say, Punks and Top Shot, they seem like they're gaining a lot of attention because of their rarity alone. So Mystics have that to an even higher degree. There's 10,000 crypto punks, but there are only 1,300 Mystic Axes. So there's, almost like 8 times less Mystic Axes than there are crypto punks. In addition to the fact that these Mystic Axes are going to have potential for extra earning ability, extra crafting utility, and these like beautiful, sweet moves that none of the other Axes have. So, it's kind of like that multi-tiered value proposition, kind of similar in the way that ETH has kind of like multiple places where it derives its value from.
Right. So you're selling. How many are you selling right now? How many do you have? How
Oh,
many do you own right now?
yeah, let me just take a quick look at my account here. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm in your account right now. Let me filter out. Let me see.
Okay, cool. I mean,
Mystics.
I've got two accounts. One of them's got like all my really nice stuff on it, and then the other one's kind of like my breeding account. So right now I'm looking at my account with all my kind of like high value mystics, and or axes, and I have 61 axes on here. Let me see here.
Yeah, I see.
I
60.
have 35 singles, 7 doubles, and then I just put a bid in last night for Candy, which was a sharded triple mystic.
Yeah, I
That
saw
kind of,
that. You're
yeah.
absolutely.
So
You're insane, dude.
yeah, I was kind of feeling super ambivalent afterwards. Like, did I make a mistake here? But I see the triple mystic price continue to go up. I see Top Shot and Punks continue to gain traction. I see institutions start to look at buying these crypto assets for top quality projects. Like Delphi Digital just bought 3 of the sickest axes in the universe. So I think there's a trend that will continue. Worst case scenario, I'll flip it if I can't.
No, no. You
Yeah, if I
definitely,
can't.
you definitely flip it,
Yeah,
and
I
yeah,
think I'll be all right. I had a triple.
you'll be all right, man. You'll be all right
Her name
for
her
sure.
name was Greg. She was super ugly, but she sold for 160 ETH. So yeah, I'm thinking a similar.
Now, are you thinking
The
in
the
dollars
floor
or are
for
you thinking
triples.
in ETH? Because if ETH
I
goes to the
I mean
moon,
for yeah
like let's say
yeah
ETH
for
goes
high
to the moon,
value,
yeah.
yeah, for high value axes like triple mystics and quads, I don't really think in US dollars, because I think the people who are buying these axes have deep pockets, and I think
True.
that if someone is spending 10% of their total bankroll on axes, and they're going to be so rich anyway that the US dollars really aren't going to matter. The reason that people will want triple mystics and quad mystics in the future is for the clout and for the earning ability, and for the
True.
prestige. So
Prestige, yeah, for
I
sure.
think the more expensive it gets, it's almost more desirable. I've There's this term Veblen good that basically talks about a good that gets more desirable as it gets more expensive. So, like watches and Lamborghinis and things that are really in that kind of luxury class. I think mystics, and especially triple mystics and quad mystics and the rare class mystics are those types of assets
I
for
think it's
sure.
that same feeling of it's like the FOMO. It's like a little FOMO
Yep,
feeling that you start getting as it goes up in price, and
absolutely.
you're like fuck man, like I should have gotten it. Oh my god, and then it just keep and then if a lot of people are feeling the same way, the price just flies.
Yeah, for sure. I
That
mean, what was it like 4 months ago that doubles were less than 10 ETH,
bro,
and now
nothing.
ETH was 200 back then, and now ETH is 1,200. And not only are the Axies more expensive in US dollars, but they're more expensive in ETH too. So I
Yeah,
think
it's
they're going up in
outperforming.
US dollars and they're going up in ETH too. So
Exactly, exactly.
not
It's
only are
crazy.
you making US dollars, you're making ETH too.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's
So
insane, bro. That's why I took mine off because like I don't have a lot of money. Like
sure.
I have a budget for for gaming.
Yep.
Like I have a bigger budget, but that I don't actually manage that. Like
Sure.
I manage it like with my brother. So he's like a
Sure.
deep into DeFi. But
Yep.
I have a budget only for gaming. I manage
Cool.
gaming, so we have a
Yep.
percentage in gaming. And bro, this is like for me. I have to hold this because I can't be like messing around. And now I see the value even more. I'm like, yo, I
Hmm.
took them off yesterday. I took them off. They're single mystics, but I still like I have a really valuable one, which is like even though it's a single mystic, it's like 5 pure, and there's
Yep.
only like I don't
Yeah,
know,
they are super rare.
they're like
Yep.
15 5 pure only.
Yep.
So it's rare in its own right, So
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, there's 1 in 3 people in the planet who play games. Blockchain's like starting to become mainstream. Axie has proved itself as being a way far ahead of all the other gaming projects on Ethereum. So I think when people come to Ethereum and they look for what can I do on Ethereum besides like basically take out collateralized loans, they're going to find Axie Infinity first. In 3 to 5 years, I anticipate that there will be millions of players playing Axie Infinity. When the supply is fixed and the demand grows from 30,000 players today to millions in 3 to 5 years, I think we're going to see some serious value appreciation
no, and
around
when you
these
have a
mystics.
triple A studio taking a bet on not really a bet, but like
Yep.
kind of like going in with Axie
Yep.
Infinity and partnering up, that means a lot because these people have experience on what works and what doesn't. Obviously,
For
they're in the
sure.
traditional business, but they
Hmm.
also have an eye. They have an eye, and that's why they were triple A titles. They have triple A titles.
Yep.
Ubisoft has triple A titles because they have vision. So
Yep.
the same you can tell with Activision or whatever. But the point is that if you, once you see that, all you gotta do if you don't believe too much in blockchain gaming and you
Hmm.
coming into the space, all you have to do is be like, okay, so Ubisoft is in. Let me trust Ubisoft and kind of go with it, and
Yep.
so that's big. I don't think we talk
Yep.
a lot about it, but it's huge that we have Ubisoft on board. To be honest,
Yeah, I agree. They have some awesome partners. They always choose the best in class to work with, and I think that speaks a lot to their expectation around quality.
absolutely,
Uh,
yeah. So
so
yeah,
yeah, go
tell me
ahead.
about your mystics that you're selling. Why are you selling these two that you sent me? They're
Yeah.
double mystics.
Yep.
And yeah, tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah. So sure. So we can start with the bird.
Okay, let me
It's
go back to the bird. I got it here.
yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let me just bring up my notes here. I wrote down a couple things. This bird's name's Phoenix, obviously. Double mystic bird. There are only 3 double mystic birds in the whole game. Um,
For
so
real? Wow.
yeah, rare class mystics could only be rolled using AOC tokens. So I mean, like the regular class, like plant, aquatic, beast, those could be bought directly from the pre-sale, but these rare class could only be rolled using AOC. So rare class, multiple mystics are super rare. But one funny thing about birds is that if you look at double mystic reptiles, I think there's 11 of them, or there's a much higher number of double mystic reptiles. Birds and reptiles had the same chance of being rolled with those AOC tokens, but for whatever reason, just luck of the draw, only 3 double mystic birds were rolled. So
Yeah,
they
you got
are they
six
are
reptiles.
rare. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So birds
Actually,
are
no. I'm
twice
sorry. I'm sorry. 11. 11. You were right. You said 11,
11.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, bird double mystics are almost 4 times as rare as reptile double mystics. So it's just a really special, unique kind of axie. If you've ever spent time battling, you know that birds can be kind of pesky with their speed.
Mm-hmm.
They can hit you first before you have an opportunity to make your move. So there's that aspect to them for sure. If you look at the mystic parts on this Axie, we have escaped gecko,
Yeah,
which is a
let me look at the traits. Escape, escape. Yeah, I'm here with escaped gecko. There's
mhm,
27 of these. Like
yeah,
27 axes have it.
27 axes, and that's including single mystics too. So
Right,
if you
right.
look at escape gecko on axes that have multiple mystics or rare class mystics, that number is going to be much smaller. So having rare parts on a rare class axie with multiple mystics, just it basically creates a multiplier effect where you have one piece of rarity times another piece of rarity times another piece of rarity, and that kind of creates that multiplier effect in terms of its value.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I like this guy because he's kind of like a tank fighter too. Back in the day, basically you just wanted all offense for your axes or all defense. But now that you have live battling and turn-based battling, defense plays a much larger role in the game. So having a bird that can prevent against crits using shelter or decrease the damage that's getting done to it by 15% is kind of an interesting fighter in that he's got some defensive capabilities too.
nice, nice, nice. Tell me a little bit about the other one. Which one is it? The Ava. Ava. We call it
Yeah,
Ava.
yeah, I do. Yep. That's right.
This is a
So
plant.
this is a plant. It's a double mystic. You were talking about how you had a single mystic with a rarity
A five
of
peer.
or a purity out of 5 out of 6.
This one is one of those.
So this is a double mystic that has 5 out of 6 purity. Similar to the bird, there's only 2 double mystics in the game that have 5 out of 6 purity.
That's insane. That's
Um,
insane. That's huge,
yeah,
actually. You know.
yeah. And for a plant, they're usually your front liner, and you want them to have high health points. So just
This is
having
actually an insane plant, bro. It has
yeah,
carrot.
the more you look at it, the sicker you realize it
No, no, no.
is.
It's literally like it's an amazing plant. It has good defense. It has
Yep,
pretty decent attacks, and it has
yep.
health
Yep,
regeneration.
and it has a synergy ability too. The bamboo part works well if you have other axes on your team that have bamboo. You'll see you get a 20% buff if you are chaining your bamboo tack with another axie. So, I mean, you can do 100 damage with that attack and get 70 defense. So it's a really cool axie because it can gain energy, it can put people away, it can heal itself, it can defend, it can attack. So it's kind
Actually,
of an
good. Yeah,
all-arounder.
it's an actual good fighter. That's incredible, man.
And super low ID, right? So it's the second double mystic ever minted. It's the first fuzzy in the game. It's got first parts on it. It's the first Dreamy Poppy. It's the first Bamboo Shoot. It's the first Namek Carrot. So it's just got all sorts of history and originality around it. So it's just a very special Axie that will always be seen as like kind of like an one of the first, one of the best in terms of its first parts and rarity. So just a very unique and I think it's very aesthetically pleasing too. It's got a good color scheme between its tail and its ears, and it's got kind of the
Yeah,
cute
I
eyes
like that. I
there
like that tail. That tail is kind of cool, actually. Um,
for sure.
Damn, bro, I can't wait to see all this Axis evolve. You know, like you can actually upgrade parts and stuff. You think the
I
looks are gonna
know.
change, right?
Yeah, that looks are definitely going to change. A while back, before they had kind of um, I guess made their vision bigger to include land, they kind of had started to leak some what level 2 is going to look like,
Holy
and there
crap!
was
Wait,
potential.
you're the only five pure double mystic plant Axie.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yep, yep. So it's one of a kind.
And wait. Let me make another stat real quick here. There's only five. There's only no 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's only five peers and there's only one. There's out of those five, four of them are one mystic, and yours is the
Yeah.
only double. And then after that, there's no
Yes.
more. There's literally no more. That's
Yes.
crazy. Yeah, yeah. No, no. Your thing is like literally unique as hell. Like super unique.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure to see how the branching. I mean, there was talks of branching where you basically for level 2 parts you could choose between two different level 2 moves and level 2 looks. So, you know, one Axie with a certain mystic part and another Axie with that same mystic part might be totally different at level 2 because people would branch them in different ways, which would just increase their uniqueness. So now, you know, where there were, let's just say there were 27 Axies with escaped gecko, but let's say level 2, 13 people chose to branch one way and 14 people chose to branch the other way. Now it's even more rare that you have that level 2 part.
Yeah,
So,
and no, and if they if they bring in cosmetics, like okay,
mhm,
you might have an Axie that has the same parts or whatever, but if you put a cosmetic on or whatever, like
yep,
you're rocking a different Axie, you know, like you're different,
yeah,
you know. So
yep, absolutely. I think
so
about Fortnite and skins and stuff like that. I
yeah,
see a lot
yeah,
of potential for that sort
it
of.
could happen, you know. I see in the main
Absolutely.
website, there's an Axie with like a smiley face, and I don't know if that's like a mystic thing or
Yeah,
like a skin, right?
right, right.
I'm not sure. I don't know if you've seen it.
They're always pretty good about like sneaking in some sort of like leaks and then not really talking about it, letting the community find out about it.
True,
So,
true, true, true.
and they kind of just leave their options open. So I try not to read too much into anything, but it's really fun and exciting to think about. You know,
Y-
like the conversations that are going on in the Vietnam office right now. Just thinking about how they're going to build this thing out because you know
Yeah, cause they build with
DeFi and
feedback too.
Ethereum's getting built is like getting built right now too. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean they're all building alongside each other.
All
The
right,
possibilities are pretty much
so if
limitless.
somebody refers you to a buyer right now, are you gonna give them
Hmm.
something? You have like a bounty or something like that?
Yeah. So I did that with my triple mystic, Greg. I gave away 5,000 AXS. AXS just passed $1 yesterday. So I gave $5,000 to the person who found me a buyer for my triple mystic.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and I will offer that same bounty. You know what? I'll up it. I'll offer 7,000 AXS for anyone who can find me a buyer for either of these axes. And for any of my other kind of less expensive axes, I'm willing to offer a deal like that too. So just come to me if you think you have a buyer for an Axie, and we can come to some sort of agreement on what sort of kind of commission you can get for bringing me a buyer.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Interesting, man. Hey, bro, thank you for hanging out and like giving us some insight into how you think about all these assets.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, this has been 30 minutes. I guess I'm just gonna make it as an interview to you. You know,
Oh,
I was
oh,
gonna put it
okay.
as part of the blockchain news, but I'm
Yep.
just gonna make it one video. That's it.
Okay. That sounds good, man. I appreciate you having me on, and you've been doing a lot of great work. You know, you started off not that long ago, and it's been great to see how you've grown right up, helped the Axie communities. I see your Twitter account gaining more followers and you gaining more influence every day. So I want to give you a pat on the back too. I think these decentralized models, everybody works together to bring value to the community. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. I can't even talk right now. Anyways, whatever, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I'll see you around.
yep,
We'll talk later,
absolutely.
all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, man.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Have a good day.
All right.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna leave the links down below to all his axes. Again, if you find a buyer, talk to him. I'm gonna leave the link to his Twitter. Talk to him, and you'll get 7,000 AXS. 7,000 AXS. Okay. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.